Hello, everyone. This is the Skype for Business recap, and as usual, I am your host, Josh. I am back from Ignite last week. It was a fun time out there, but a crazy and hectic time. Lots of good talking points coming out of there. Fun keynotes, especially the Skype for Business keynote by Gurdeep Paul. And if you were keeping up with my YouTube channel at all last week, then you'll have noticed I had the chance to interview Jamie Stark over at Microsoft, Matt Landis from Landis Technologies, Office Servers and Services MVP, and then I did my recap at the end of the week, and we, in each case, pretty much talked about all the news coming out of Ignite and the topics there. So very good discussions. I would encourage you, if you haven't seen them, to go back and watch those as well. They're if nothing else, good for a little laugh. I got the chance to finally put Jamie on the spot and ask him about that Presence Liars video that I've been waiting for a follow-up on for so long, and that was a fun question. That was a good time. So check those out if you have not. It's worth it. So before I go into content today, I would like to take a moment to say a humongous congratulations to, I believe, the two new Office Servers and Services MVPs in the Skype for Business specific area. There may be others that I'm not aware of, and I apologize if I skimmed over you, but Mark Vale and Luca Vitali, huge congrats to you guys. That is quite an accomplishment, and you both were exceedingly deserving of this this recognition, this award from Microsoft. It is, your contributions to the community have been numerous is a silly word in this case. You guys have done a lot over the last year and then some. So it's great to see you guys finally recognized for that. Thank you for all that you've poured in. Keep up that good work. And then to all of you MVPs who are up for re-award, you did get re-awarded. Big congratulations, as an order there as well. If you don't know how the program works, you don't just get in and stay in. You're reevaluated every year. And so MVPs who are up for renewal at the end of the year, they have to have proven that they are still an MVP throughout the previous year. So all these people that were re-awarded, also just as big of a congrats. You guys deserved it, and you're keeping this community going strong. So thank you all for all you do. All right, with that jolly note, let's jump on over to our Infinity screen and pull up the browser here. First things first, I'm not going to do too much self plugging here of my own stuff, but and I have to apologize ahead of time. For some reason, the add-ins for my YouTube channel are giving some sort of certificate error on Blogger, so I need to go figure that out. You wouldn't think that'd be an issue, given that they're both owned by Google, but it is. So we'll have to figure that one out. First thing I wanted to do, though, was jump down to my Ignite recap that I typed up. I didn't want to reinvent the wheel here, all right? So what I did is first shared a pleasant picture of the expo floor, all right? Enjoy that. Next up, I went and pointed to all the people who already did a wonderful job making a plethora of notes and organizing thoughts about the Skype for Business content out of Ignite. First up, Mark Vale, once again. He had a very good post. Unfortunately, Mark was not able to be at Ignite, but it sounds like he'll be going to the MVP Summit, so that'll be fun. But he wasn't at Ignite. He was watching the live streams, and he was following along on Twitter and all the other social media channels where we were all mad tweeting and scrambling about all the announcements and stuff. And he wrote a very good write-up there. So go check out his post. I actually used it in the recap last week to go through the news. Next up, Matt Landis had another very good summary that he did up. He usually does a note summary at every conference he's at, making note of all the pertinent information. So check out his blog post there as well. And then the next thing I highlighted was John Cook's write-up of the Mac client. So, he talked very briefly, I think, on a couple of things, but his post was focusing in on all the Mac news out of Ignite. Mac is a huge deal, and as John says, he is rumored to be a Apple fanboy. I did not know that, but apparently that's his cup of tea, and he did an excellent job talking all about the news and pictures and all that stuff out of the summit, or out of Ignite. So check out his post if you are a Mac enthusiast or support Mac enthusiasts and are interested in what's coming, hopefully this month. Then I had, again, 3 videos down here that I was sharing for you guys. The Jamie Stark interview, Matt Landis interview, and the Skype for B recap Ignite edition, but none of them are accessible at the moment. Hopefully by the time you go to my blog post to check this out. They'll all be working again. I'm not sure what's going on there. So last up, Tom Arbuthnot, another Office Servers and Services MVP, put together a handy little script. You can grab it from his blog post down here, and it is a script for pulling down all the videos of Skype for Business content from Ignite. So for those of you that weren't able to attend or did attend and didn't get to watch every session you wanted to watch, this is a good way to go and pull it all down and sort through it all and take your time with it. So thanks for helping out with that, guys. Jumping on up, we have the update to my Skype for Business Hybrid Handbook that I just put out there yesterday. It is now in version 2.1. As you can tell, that's a minor revision there. So feature updates and comparisons and Cloud PBX roadmap items that showed up at Office 3 or at Ignite, that kind of stuff made its way into the book. I put a link to the TechNet Gallery. It is a free download. If you don't have a copy, go grab yours. If you do have a copy and want the latest information in it, go grab it again. And here is a copy of what it looks like, 2.1, and lots of updated stuff all throughout here. So feel free to check it out, and if you find it helpful, if you do hybrid or you know someone that does hybrid, share it with them. It could be handy at some point. I wanted to shed a little bit of light on this. Matt Landis had shared M. Kresmark's picture out here on from a Ignite session here about Cloud PBX, and as you can see, I don't know if you can see, you might have to squint and get really close, but I've highlighted down here one item that stood out to me that I am just chomping at the bit for. Cloud PBX feature set, second half of calendar year 2016, extension dialing. Now that is not here yet, but I have had several people who are chomping at the bit to be able to do extension dialing for CCE environments or PSTN calling users in Cloud PBX. That is going to be huge, and so since it's supposed to be second half of the year, keep your eyes peeled. There's not a whole lot of time left for that. That should be out fairly soon here. So thanks for sharing this slide, Matt. Super awesome. As you can see, there's a number of other good features that are coming as well. But keep your eyes out. There are very good developments happening here soon. All right, Skype Teams. This is kind of one of those rumored things that Microsoft doesn't want to really talk about yet or admit that it's a thing or anything like that. They've been pressed on it from several different angles by several different people, and it just is, there's not a lot of info out there. So I've seen a couple things about it over the last few weeks, and then finally this post that I saw the other day from WinBuzzer actually was referencing this Petrie post over here, and so we'll go over to the Petrie post. And this was written up with screenshots and all that. I mean, leaked screenshots. So as much as it's not being admitted at this point, it is a thing. It is a thing, and it's looking pretty cool. The platform is organized by teams and channels, with teams being the top of the hierarchy, channels being the subcategories. Here's a good screenshot. As you can see, we've got threaded conversations here, individual conversations instead of just one big chat room. This makes it a little easier to stay organized but see the chat play out as you go, and so it's a very handy feature to have keep things organized. These conversations also have the ability to have files embedded right in them that you can access, and then you can also, when you open the file from the thread, it opens up the document in an editor, and you all can interact and work together in that document. And it looks really slick when you do that. You've got the chat sitting right next to the document you're working in here. So cool. So a couple other things they say here that I wanted to call out. One of the advantages Skype Teams has over competitors is the native integration with Office 365. So Calendar, OneDrive, even SharePoint files can all be accessed and shared from inside the application as well. Like he says, Microsoft isn't taking any chances with Skype Teams and knows that they have to compete with Slack at all avenues of collaboration. Why do they have to compete with Slack? Because there has been so little development or support or building out of persistent chat, which is a desired feature set over the last couple of years, that many customers have actually started migrating over to Slack for team collaboration. They wanted that utility. They had a ton of Mac users in their org, or for whatever other reason, so they went to Slack. And Microsoft has had to do something to combat that. So The company currently is testing the app in private beta, like they're not talking about it, as they iron out the last features and fix bugs. But in the near future, they will expand the beta program with an expected full release sometime early next year as a new feature for users who subscribe to Office 365. So that tells you this is probably not going to be a free deal at all. I mean, we got a free version of Slack and a paid version of Slack. However, I don't think there's a huge concern about competing with the free version of Slack. Most big organizations and enterprises that want this tool set is using the paid version of Slack anyway. So this is going to make their lives easier if they're already Office 365 consumers, because now they have a competing, maybe even better product that's going to be coming out built into the tool set they're already utilizing. Super awesome. So check this out, read this article. Don't, take it with the grain of salt that it's not being officially acknowledged by Microsoft yet, and go from there. I also wanted to share this No Jitter article by Kevin Keeler, where he does kind of an Ignite recap as well, but he starts out talking about Skype Teams and saying mum's the word, kind of reiterating exactly what I said. Despite the fact that Microsoft wasn't ready to talk about Skype Teams at Ignite, it most definitely has an invite-only alpha program underway. All right, you can find some of the leaked information in a few screen images by searching, which I already showed you. You've got those links so you can see them yourself. But I like it. It is being talked about. People know about it. There really is no denying that this thing exists and is being worked on at this point. So, and then he goes on to talk about all the stuff about Skype for Business out of Ignite, even a little bit of insight into the Cisco and Apple partnership. And of course, he wraps things up by talking about Mac, because how can you not, right? So, good stuff. Thanks, Kevin. Okay, Azure voicemail. Customers using Azure voicemail in Skype for Business Online with their email accounts in Exchange on-prem. All right, Exchange on-prem. This was not supported before. You could not do this before, but now if you are using a scenario in this supportability matrix here, you can set up your Skype for Business Online users to use voicemail, Azure voicemail, in their Exchange Online account. Super awesome. It just opens up the doors wider to have whatever type of hybrid configuration suits you best. Here are very high-level steps on how to accomplish this, with links to all of the individual steps you need to take to set this up. One important thing to call out here that they highlighted in step 5 is verify that Exchange Online Plan 2 licensing option is disabled for Cloud PBX users who have on-premises Exchange mailboxes, as this will interfere with the delivery of Azure voicemail messages. Remember, they don't have an Exchange Online mailbox. They have an on-prem mailbox. So we disable this license for them so that it doesn't screw around with their Azure voicemail being delivered to Exchange on-prem. The other good thing to note here is that when did they start calling it Azure voicemail? That's interesting. Interesting terminology there. I would have thought it would have been named something else, more Office 365 or Cloud PBX like. I just find it odd that they put the term Azure in front of it. But yeah, that is what it is. So, all right, next up. Habib Mankal, another MVP, tweeted out an update as of October 3rd to the Outlook app for iOS. It now supports Skype for Business meetings, available in your event details. So this is a big deal. Being able to use one tool set and not have to jump around between tool sets or scramble to figure out how to get in the meeting once you see it pop up on your calendar or your Outlook in iOS. Now you have meetings built right in there. So that's pretty handy. If you are an iOS user, you might want to update your Outlook app to get this functionality. And last up, Polycom UC software, their latest version 5.4.5 is available as of Monday, late Monday. Look at the release notes and you will discover that a ton of bug fixes were put into this release. So a big one to get. For me, I'm going to jump back over to my blog here. This post right here was specifically addressed with 5.4.5. And this was where a user in a CC environment had a Polycom VVX 600 phone, and they got a call from an external user in through their SIP carrier, through their SBC, up to Office 365, and then Office 365 rang the user. They pick up at their Polycom VVX handset, have a little chat, and then try to transfer that call. Wouldn't work. Just didn't work at all. and CCE was fully updated. Everything else was working perfectly. But that one thing, turns out this was addressed and fixed in 5.4.5. So if you have that or any other number of issues with your Polycom VVXs, it may be time to upgrade. So be sure to check that out and see if it's the right thing for you guys to do at this time. That is all I've got in content I want to share. One final announcement. The Skype for Business user group for Austin is officially being launched in Q4 this year. Hopefully November 10th. That is a soft date. We have to get that confirmed with the Microsoft office in town. But if you are in the Austin or San Antonio area and you work in Microsoft UC or a Skype for Business person and you want to come hang out with me to help get this thing launched this next month, be looking for some announcements. Once I get all the details hammered down exactly, I'm going to be splashing it all over LinkedIn and Twitter, inviting everyone, having you guys sign up at the skypeug.com site, and we will have a good old time learning all about Skype for Business together and hanging out at the Microsoft office in Austin. So I am looking forward to that a lot. This will be a blast. Thank you guys. Thanks for your continued support. I look forward to seeing you back here next Friday. And in the meantime, you have a wonderful, enjoyable, relaxing, fun weekend. Be safe, as always. And we'll see you guys here next Friday. Adios.